him. He signed where he says he denies all the allegation.
Uthi-ke ummeli uNtanzi yena uthi uboshwe ngendlela engekho emthethweni ngoba uboshwa namuhla nge-16 zikaJuni kusasa sekabuzwa ngecala lika Senzo Meyiwa. Ubrigadier uthi cha lokho akwenzwa ngalanga kanjalo ubuzwe ngamacala ahlukile futhi na kwi-statement la ngalesikhathi ecebiswa uye watshelwa uNtanzi. Ummeli uthi akasibonanga leso statement kodwa ubrigadier uthi sikhona la singubufakazi buka AA la ukuthi uNtanzi wayekade ebuzwa ngama case number ahlukile amacala ahlukile futhi nokuthi kwenzakeleni uNtanzi elibele ephika kodwa ugcine seyikuthi uyasayina kuso leso statement.
Furthermore, my lord, A5 of this docket, this portion that the court asked counsel to look at, A5, it's a notice of right, 14A, where this case 163 is written. It was made to accused to by Sergeant Mokhane, and it states clearly it's a murder charge. He was given this notice of rights and signed, and Sergeant Mokhane signed.
Futhi la kunencwadi eyikuthi ikubufakazi A5 la ukuthi ikhuluma ngecala lemeda kukhulunywa ngalo lelicala le163 la ukuthi uSergeant Mokhane usayinile nawe Ntanzi usayinile khona la.
I think you fail to understand what I was saying. When he was arrested on the 16th of June 2020, he was arrested under the charge of murder. Case number 16304/2018. That's what I was saying. I did not dispute that. But what I'm putting to you is that you use that docket to secure Ntanzi for the purpose of obtaining a confession from him.
No.
Number two, to add on that, there's a docket 534/06/2020 for Sloras. I just want to know as well on that aspect, was Ntanzi charged and was he brought to court? Was that docket registered with the Sloras police station?
I'm not sure what docket is that, my lord, but it's that Phosphorus 534. I'll have to be
Which
told.
docket is that now?
The one
534, which? What is the
for
charge?
possession, my lord.
Possession of firearm.
No, for possession of drugs.
Drugs.
That's what Mokhane told this court.
So, just putting it to him that
Yes.
he used it in the case of drugs
That's correct.
to get a confession.
Yes, I'll make a follow-up
Fine.
on that.
To get a confession, fine.
Yes.
When was this docket of drugs opened? Do you know, Sergeant?
My lord, I don't know. Sergeant,
When was
it's
this
not my
opened?
docket. my lord.
Ngomezulu?
According to Sergeant Mokhane, the docket was open in Sloras.
Yeah, on which date? Because you're linking it to a confession. I just want to know
Yes.
how related.
Yes.
Uthi ubrigadier lelicala la Phosphorus lika leyidakamizwa yena akalazi ngoba akulona icala eyena asebenza kulo kodwa kuthiwa uSergeant Mokhane ukhulume ngalo.
May I remind the court that when we requested to see the dockets, both 534/06/2020 and 163, they were not provided to the defense.
Yeah, but you can approach your client. Was he ever arrested under case number 534 in connection with drugs?
That's what is
And did he
denied.
appear in court? When did he appear in court? Because
never
I want to,
appeared.
just listen to me.
Yes.
You are the one who are linking that docket of dealing in drugs. And you're saying this witness, Brigadier UGininda, used it as a pressure to obtain a confession from your client. Is that not what you're saying?
That is so, ma'am.
So that's why I want to know, when was the docket opened?
The
Here's your client. When was he arrested at least?
May I
Yes,
approach
please.
him? I'm approaching.
Manje inkosi enkantolo ithi ummeli
Let me
azobuza
approach.
ukuthi uye waboshwa nini kuleli cala leyidakamizwa la Phosphorus.
My instruction is that for the first time, accused number 2 heard about the the docket under 534 and 163 heard from Sergeant Mukhane. He has never been arrested and never been charged with such cases.
No, that's not how I recall the evidence of Sergeant Mukhane. No, not the lady, Mamfundis, as you call him.
I'm referring to the male.
No,
Mukhane.
I know. Wasn't Mukhane, sorry, the lady. Wasn't she the investigating officer? Mukhola.
So no, for accused 2, my lord, it was Sergeant Mukhane, the male.
The male.
The male, yeah.
In relation to the drugs case.
No, so the drugs case, my lord, it was Sergeant Mukhola. The court is right, but that drugs-related case, it's Tembisa matter.
Yeah.
That is Sergeant Mukhola. The murder docket, and I think the case that counsel is referring to, they saying it's Sergeant Mukhane. So that's the case that I'm lost about.
The murder docket. Which murder docket is that, sir?
The 163.
The one we're dealing with.
The one we are dealing with. I want to remind the court that accused number 2 was taken to Phosphorus on the 19th.
Yeah, that's when you said they must divert.
Yes, that's when they called Brigadier UGininda, who told them that they must go to Moroka police station.
So my lord, perhaps let me start answering here. It is. I think the question was that they were never arrested. That's what counsel said. He said they were never arrested. I mean, accused 2 was never arrested for 163 and this drug dealing offense.
Yeah,
my response, my lord, insofar as 163, because I don't have the contents of the other docket that is referring to. Insofar as 163 of 4/2018, I don't agree with counsel because this is the docket he just read. The notice of rights are here. The warning statement is here, but furthermore, my lord, OB, occurrence book that have been submitted as evidence in this court were presented, and it is clear that accused 2, after the arrest of the 16th, he was detained at the police station under this case number. So it will be incorrect that he was not arrested for this case number. And then he was then booked out, I think on the 19th in the morning hours to court. This is the day now where they made a diversion and went to make a confession. So insofar as 163, I can confirm, my lord, that he was arrested. The other matter is the one that I'm saying, I don't want to say wrong things, my lord.
Uthi akafuna ukukhuluma izinto engasizona ubrigadier isikhulukazi uma kukhulunywa ngaleli cala leyidakamizwa uthi lelo akanalo ulwazi ngalo alaziyo yileli le163 la ukuthi uye uNtanzi uye waboshwa futhi Ntathakusa uye wakhishwa eyiswa enkantolo uthi lona icala alaziyo uma kuthiwa uNtanzi akazange aboshwe uthi ngaleli lika 163 unesiqiniseko sokuthi uNtanzi waboshwa.
All right, let's just deal with 163 according to your evidence. Was he formally charged under docket 163? Was he ever brought to court under 163? Did he appear in Ngoma court?
My lord, we dealt with this. I think I did indicate that yes, he was processed, now the formal processes.
Yes,
and what I was reported is that when he was taken to Phosphorus, where they intended to transfer him that side, there was the matter was not enrolled together with another matter. That's what I was informed. That was not part of this process, but that's what I know, my lord. What I do know is that indeed on the OB he was booked out for court purposes, my lord.
Kuleli cala le 163 uNtanzi uye wathweswa na amacala wayiswa enkantolo futhi wavela na uthi ubrigadier mayiphendula yena unolwazi alizwe bamcebisa ukuthi uNtanzi ngempela yena uye waboshwa ukuyovela kwamanje kulayi ukuthi baye bamcebisa ukuthi akazange avele ngenxa yokuthi amacala lawo akazange athulwe enkantolo manje uthi yilona ulwazi analo ngaleli cala le-168.
And that is why, my lord, so sorry, counsel, sorry, I don't mean to interject. My lord, that is why I said then, subsequent to us knowing that this matter was not enrolled, this is now this one, and there were these other matters in different provinces where I took a decision that let these matters be investigated, concluded, and presented so that we have one central point to move on as and when, you know, the investigation are concluded. But the magnitude of work, obviously, then, you know, has overtaken us up to this stage, my lord.
Ngemva kwalokho kula mina ithema ngizwa ukuthi leli cala alizange lifakwe enkantolo, ngiye ngathatha isinqumo sokuthi wonke lamacala lawa ake aphenywe ukuze sizokwazi ukuthi siwahlanganise wonke, kodwa ngoba umsebenzi umningi gcine seyikuthi uphuma ezandleni zethu ukuthi sikwazi ukuphenya wonke lamacala ngesikhathi.
So let's get now into the aspect of a confession. Questions arising from the confession that was taken on the 19th of June 22. My instruction is that prior to the taking of that confession by Colonel Mboto, by Colonel Rapatu, it's my instruction that accused number 2 was assaulted, subjected to torture, he was choked with the plastic, poured with water, and electrocuted. That was prior to the making of that confession. Will you dispute that?
It is, maybe let me understand, my lord, also. Is this assault saying I was there, or is it the general remark that happened in my
It's a
absence?
version of accused number 2. I said prior to the, and did not mention the name of anyone, prior to the alleged confession being taken, he was tortured. I'm still coming to the people who tortured him. I'm just putting the basis that he was tortured, electrocuted, and choked.
My lord, what I know, and I'm answering on the basis of what I know. When I interviewed him the first time on the 18th, with regard to the first alibi, there was no indication from him that he was assaulted, and he was not assaulted also at any stage when he was with me, and that is with regard to the following of his first false alibi, because that is when I came across him. He was given his rights in terms of the Constitution. I spoke to him. I did not detect or see any visible injuries, nor there was any of such complaint reported to me.
Mina ngalesikhathi ngikhuluma naye uNtanzi ngaphambi kokuthi azoyenza lesiya azogunyuluka laphayana, mina ngiye ngakhuluma naye ngimbuza, kodwa akazange angicebise ukuthi ushayiwe, ulinyaziwe noma unesikhalazo esithize. Ngaleso sikhathi ngikhuluma naye akazange nje angitshele lo.
Now, sorry, counsel. Now, moving forward, my lord, then the confession was made when I got hold of the document. This is now after meeting Colonel Rapadu. In the documents, because it was given to me by Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu, nowhere was it recorded that he's got any injuries or complaints.
Futhi ke ithema ngithola amaphepha asuka ku Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu, yena akukho la ukuthi ubhale ukuthi uNtanzi wayekade elimele endaweni ethize.
Now, furthermore, my lord, when he was detained on the 16th, as I said, I assisted in coordinating the occurrence books. Nowhere on the detention office, just after his arrest, also when he was booked in and out on the 17th, the 18th, and 19th, leading to the confession, as well as after, you know, we came back from Pukeng, where the docket of ammunition was registered. All those OBs do not reflect that he was at any stage booked in or visited and found that he is complaining of assault or there are injuries that were seen. So on those bases, my lord, it will be difficult for me to say, you know, he was assaulted. It was not brought to my attention. Evidence that is before this court suggest otherwise, my lord.
Kulamalanga ayikuthi ngibe nontanzi kusukela nge-18 kuyofika nge-19 fikela size siya nasephukeni. Asikho isikhathi la ukuthi kuye kwabhalwa khona phansi kwincwadi ezama-OB ukuthi untanzi ushayiwe. Angizange ngibone lapho ukuthi untanzi kubhalwe ukuthi ushayiwe noma ulimele endaweni ethize.
On the 18th, in the evening, it's my version that Ntanzi was assaulted near an engine garage by Mabena, Jonathan, Butelezi, Mapumulo, and yes, it was next to an engine garage in Albertine.
My lord, I was not there. As I indicated, the last time I saw him on the 18th, it's when we were following the alibi in Carltonville. From there, we parted ways. So I will not, I was not there. All I can say, like I said earlier, my lord, there is no indication in the OBs, including the 18th, because I made arrangements to collect those OBs and peruse them. Nowhere it's documented, even on the entries of the 18th. I think he went back to the detention cells in the morning hours of the 19th, my lord, that he was booked in with injuries and subsequently booked out to court with injuries. Or further, when he went back, I think to the police station next to Jamestown, Primrose, as well as Pukeng. None of those occurrence books, my lord, suggest such assertions, my lord. That's how far I can answer it, my lord.
Uthi untanzi yena nge-18 ushayiwe ngase engine garage eshawa uMaphumulo, uButhelezi, uMabena noJonathan. Beba lapho ngaleso sikhathi bemshaya. Uma iphendula ubrigadier uthi mina bengekho. Ngeke ngikwazi ukuphendula lokho, kodwa ithe uma ngihlola ama-OB wonke akukho la ukuthi kubhalwe ukuthi untanzi ushayiwe uma ezofakwa estorisini, futhi nanoma ekhishwa ayisiwa kule police station elase Primrose akukho nala kubhaliwe ukuthi untanzi ukhishwa ushayiwe, nanoma efika ngale akukho la kubhalwa ukuthi untanzi ufika eshayiwe.
And for your information, Sergeant Mkhane, when it was firstly put to him, during cross-examination, that Ntanzi was assaulted next to an engine garage by the persons that I've mentioned, he denied having been next to an engine garage, and he denied the assault. That's what Mkhane said. Firstly denied, but now getting into the AVL shows that there was a stop at engine garage in Albert, and he further confirmed that after he saw that the AVL shows the location of the vehicle at that time.
Yeah, my lord, no, I hear what counsel is saying, but it's I don't know what to say. I was not here when Sergeant Mkhane testified. I was not there. I don't know how could I assist in that.
Manje ke ngingwazise ekuqaleni uMkhane ithe makukhulunywa ngendaba yase engine yokushawa kukaMangalelwa, yena eshawa elabantu laba asesikhulume ngabo, yena uqale ephika ukuthi azange asondele ngase engine garage. Itheke mase sekuvela lo kuyabufakazi be-AVL kulaye ukuthi uye washo ukuthi yebo bekangase engine, kodwa ukushawa kona ugcine sekuthi uyakuphika. Ubrigadier uthi mina bengingekho, ngeke ngikwazi ukuthi uMkhane utheni futhi nalaphayana e-engine mina kangingekho.
And this my lord, we submitted that question is misleading, because the version that was put to Sergeant Mkhane was that en route to Moroka on the 19th of June, that's when the assault took place. But this version was later adapted to say that the assault took place on the way back from Carltonville.
I'll differ with what my colleague is submitting. I'll make reference to the records. And the reason why my colleague is raising with this objection is because they knew and deliberately so omitted the location of that motor vehicle on the 18th on the reasons that they knew that it was an evidence that corroborated the version of accused number 2. I will submit with due respect that there is no such objection or statement made by Sergeant Mukhane. What is understood is that Sergeant Mukhane initially denied having taken accused number 2 next to an engine garage in the presence of Jonathan, Maphumulo, Buteles and the rest. And further, it has been denied by all these witnesses, I mean the SWAT unit, to be next to an engine garage at any given stage when it was put to them that Ntanzi was assaulted on the day. But what I can put to you now is that when Jonathan, Butelezi, Maphumulo were cross-examined in relation to the version given by Ntanzi that he was assaulted next to an engine garage, they also denied having been next to the engine garage. They also denied having assaulted accused number 2.
As a conclusion, we will repeat the same objection that the version that was put was that this assault happened on the 19th of June.
Not on the 18th.
On the way, yes. On the way to Moraka Police Station. Yes.
That is not true. We definitely rely on our records. That's the vision. May I proceed, my lord?
Yes.
Yes. I'm putting to you that the version of accused number 2 is that on the 18th he was assaulted and later he was taken back to Pretoria North where he was kept. And 2 hours later or 3 hours later he was booked out again. In 19. No, it's not that one. After he was assaulted, round about 12 o'clock midnight, he was transported back to where he was kept at the police station. It was Pretoria North. So 2 hours, so when he was booked in at 2:30 in the morning and was booked out around 5 or around 4 to take him to Vosloorus police station on the 19th. Can you dispute that?
The booking out, my lord, I will not dispute that because it's. I think I've seen, although I'm not sure about the time, but I will not dispute it because if it's not accurate, it's not far from that. So that part I will not dispute, my lord. The part that I want to dispute clearly and without a shadow of a doubt is the impression that the state, including myself, I suppose, we deliberately kept the information of the 18th because we knew that it has issues. That's not correct. When I received the request for the AVL, I made that application, my lord. I made that application. And the request was the information for the AVL to be provided from the 30th of May 2020 to the 24th of June, all the days. And when I say all the days, I'm not saying selected days, every day, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once that was obtained, my lord, because it was voluminous, I consulted with the state as to which parts to make it easier does the defense and the state wants to deal with. I was never given the date of the 18th. And when that is why the initial package didn't include the 18th, because I then took the request, not that I prepared it myself, sat with the expert and said, please package this information according to this date and submit your affidavits so that it can be presented. And that's how it was done, my lord. Later, when additional dates were requested, we followed that same pattern. So at no stage was information kept away. That is really not correct.
Nkosi Nkantolo, indaba leyo ukuthi uNtanzi uye wabuyiselwa esitokisini ebusuku uthi ubrigadier lokho angikuphikisi nangokho uma ngabe isikhathi singafani kodwa sicishe sisondela khona lapho. Indaba engifuna ukuyiphika ile ndaba yokuthi ilanga leli lange-18 bufakazi bakhona thina siye sabugodla ngenxa yokuthi besazi ukuthi kunento eshaya amanzi khona lapho. Uthi cha, asizange thina sagodla lutho ngoba lesi sicelo sokuthi kulethwe lobuya bufakazi be-AVL yimina ongafaka leso sicelo ngemva kokuthi sengiceliwe ukuthi kudingeka ubufakazi obunjalo. Yimina futhi ngasho wonke amalanga, angizange ngithethe amalanga. Itheke mase sekuvela la enkantolo ukuthi kudingeka amalanga athize kulana khona ngiye ngathi kuNgodi loyana ukuthi asithumelele noma asenzele lawo malanga adingwa inkantolo futhi aphinde ayenze i-affidavit. Mina ayikho into ebengade ngiyigodla.
May I just further take you on the version at engine garage? Sergeant Mngomezulu considered when he was cross-examined on the AVL of the 18th of June 2020. He considered to say he was at engine garage. That's where they bought water and some stuff. And further considered that on that night he was later joined, or on that night he was further joined by the SWAT unit, that is Jonathan, Buteles and Mapumo.
My lord, obviously the issues of the engine garage and buying food, I was not told about that. What I do know is that on the 18th of June 2020, Sergeant Mngomezulu did report to me that the car was giving him mechanical issues. That I know. Subsequent to that, I did say he must get a backup because I knew they were in a company of accused two. I know he was joined by SWAT team members. I just didn't get the names as to who, but I know that at the time when they were at a specific area, there was a mechanical issue, and insofar as I was briefed, SWAT came to assist until the mechanical issue was resolved and they went to detain accused two. That's what I know about the presence of SWAT. It was to assist basically with the safekeeping of everyone.
Ndaba yokuthengwa kokudla noma okuphuzwayo kwange-18 angizange ngitshelwe ngakho, angikwazi. Kodwa engikwazi ukuthi uSergeant Mngomezulu uye wangichazisela ukuthi nge-18 imoto yayikade imnika inkinga, kungakho ngiye ngamcebisa ukuthi afune i-backup. Yingakho egcine sekathola laba akukhulunywa ngabo, kodwa angizange ngitshelwe ukuthi abobani amagama walabantu laba abafikile bazomsiza, ngoba mina ngithi athole laba bazomsiza ngoba bengazi ukuthi unomangalelwa wesibili.
And it was for the first time when confronted with the AVL of the 18th that Sergeant Mngomezulu gave evidence of the mechanical breakdown of a motor vehicle. During his evidence in chief, or even cross-examination before the AVLs, he never said anything about mechanical failure in the motor vehicle. I'm surprised that as the lead investigator, you want to support a statement that was never set initially by you, by Sergeant Mukhane?
My Lord, I don't know how the question was put to him. I'm simply narrating what was told to me, and subsequent to that, my Lord, the vehicle was indeed booked in the police garage in Benoni, because on the 24th, I know that they were using Sergeant when the confession, insofar as accused number 2 is concerned, at the Boksburg Magistrate Court is concerned, the car was already sitting in Benoni. So the reporting was made to me and is not meant to mislead or do anything. It's a fact that I was told, my Lord.
Mina akusukuthi ngifuna ukulahlekisa inkantolo noma ini, ngiye ngatshelwa ngokuthi imoto yayikade ihlupha futhi ummangalelo wayekade hamba nabo naye uSergeant Mukhane. Angazi ukuthi ubuzwe kanjani ukuze azophendula ngalendlela ummeli bekathi uphendule ngayo, kodwa mina ngiye ngatshelwa ukuthi imoto ibikade ihlupha futhi bebakade bangale ngasendaweni yaseBenoni.
My Lord, before we request an adjournment, with your permission, I am going to pause on this cross-examination for the 18th, because I didn't want to juxtapose and show no logic in what I'm asking. And I will provide the records tomorrow morning relating to the evidence that is now given by Brigadier Gininda about the AVL of the 24th of June. May I just have few questions on the AVL of the 24th? As I'm saying to you, putting what has been asked from Mr. Sergeant Mukhane, on the 24th, is it your evidence also? Can you confirm it under oath that on the 24th, the Toyota Fortuner was in Benoni and it was not transporting accused number 2 to
Yes.
Boksburg prison, to Boksburg court?
No, it was in Benoni. I think the AVL record, my Lord, shows that we gave it to the defense. It's not a point of contention. The AVL, I remember, went through it, and I think it was there few days before the 24th. My recollection on the 24th, it is parked in Benoni. It's a mechanical police garage, my Lord.
Ngiyavuma ukuthi nge-24 imoto le i-Toyota Fortuner yayikade ingahambisi ummangalelo wesibini, ngoba ngiyazi futhi ngibonile nakwi-AVL ukuthi yapakwa laphaya eBenoni amalanga ngaphambi kokuthi i-24 zifike.
Yes. The reason why I requested permission or indulgence to the court to deal with the date of the 24th is because, firstly, I'll bring the records tomorrow in the morning, whereby there was a ruling by the court when we objected on the use or the giving evidence on the AVL. And the court made a ruling and I'll provide that ruling that has been made by the court, which was considered by Sergeant Mukhane to that motor vehicle was interlinked with the AVL, and there were certain areas that were also mentioned in that ruling relating to the Fortuner that was transporting accused number 2.
My Lord, I don't understand the interlink. What I know about AVL, it is assigned to a specific vehicle. You can't link it to another vehicle. It's assigned to a specific vehicle to monitor the driving, management of the driver, the location, the speed, but it's assigned to a specific vehicle. And the one that I saw, my Lord, like I said, my recollection and which I can provide. I do have that AVL. On the 24th of June 2020, the vehicle was parked in Benoni. The AVL shows that. So if it was interlinked with another vehicle, I don't know how, my lord.
Sorry, Mr. Before you interpret it, sir, not interlinked with another vehicle.
Oh.
The evidence of Sergeant Mukhane relating to the transportation of accused number 2 was interlinked. That's what I was saying, not with another motor vehicle. You still dispute that he was transported on the 24th of June?
No, I don't dispute that he was transported from prison, from the police station, my lord, because I made arrangements for the confession. I've said this in my evidence in chief. I didn't give instruction to Sergeant Mukhane. I know that accused 2 was picked up from the police station, taken to Boksburg Magistrate Court, and that is where the confession by Magistrate Cronje was made, and then taken back, and that is the 24th of June 2020. What I'm saying is that in my recollection, the vehicle, the Toyota Fortuner, I think it's FV47LFGP, my lord, that vehicle was at Benoni. He was not utilizing that vehicle. That's what I'm saying, my lord.
Angiphiki ukuthi nge-24 umangalelwa wasuswa estokisini ayisiwa enkantolo ukuthi ayohlangana nomantshi uCronje ngalesikhathi eyogonyuluka, kodwa wayekade engahambi ngale Toyota Fortuner ekukhulunywa ngayo. Mina nginaleso siqiniseko sokuthi wayekade engahambi noma engahanjiswa ngale Fortuner ekukhulunywa ngayo.
I'll further give you the records tomorrow morning to confirm that Sergeant Mukhane led evidence that from the police station to Boksburg Court, he transported accused number 2 using a white Toyota Fortuner bearing the registration numbers that you have just said, and he was escorted by the SWAT members, and the SWAT members also, the evidence of Jonathan is there, evidence of Mapumulo is there, the evidence of Buthelezi is also there, that on that particular day when they took accused number 2 to make a confession in Boksburg Court, he was put into a Toyota Fortuner. This means that evidence that it was not in use. That means either the AVL is not accurate or the witness is deliberately misleading the court.
That's a good piece, that is not according to our recollection of the evidence of Sergeant Mukhane, but as counsel pointed out, we can peruse the record just to verify that aspect, but that is not according to our recollection.
May I adjourn my lord for tomorrow? It's 3:30.
Umshushisi usukuma ephikisana nale ndaba uBaba Mngomezulu ayishoyo ukuthi imoto kuthiwa nge-24 iFortuner ekade ihambisana noNtanzi. Manje uma ebuya uBaba Mngomezulu uthi ake silibeke khona lalo lidaba, sizophinda sibuye kusasa, uthi unobufakazi obubonisayo ukuthi uSergeant Mukhane ukhulume kanjalo, futhi lokho bufakazi